Hello, part two for July 10th, 2026. I've been home for a long time. It's evening time, and I'm sitting outside here in the evening, and it looks like it's not gonna rain, I don't think, but and there's no rain in the forecast, even though we need rain so bad. And if you didn't see part one, because it works really weird with these videos, like you can go back and they're not always in order. Y'all excuse me. Dry skin. I tried to put something on earlier, but anyway, just a minute. But I've been out for a while, so things have just kind of gone back to its natural place. Uh, no more wash face, mouth, whatever. So anyway, so if you didn't get to part one of today, I got up with good intentions of either walking or going to the YMCA. Well, my knees were really hurting, so I decided to go to the YMCA because if they weren't good for walking, then I could just sit down there in the YMCA, cool off or whatever, and then go home. Well, however, I got almost there, not too close, far back enough to switch lanes and go somewhere else because I forgot my headphones, and I don't like working out without my headphones. So I decided to go to this park called Panorama Park, and I hadn't been there in 2 years, and it's just one of my favorite places to be. There is a group called Rise. Hey, shout out to my daughter, who has really joined up with Rise, who is a group that's really about pulling community together. And so they raised the funds for this park, because in our side of town, whether you're southeast or southwest, there are not many parks. All they do is build houses. They don't build parks. And we need parks. If you're going to build houses, and houses have families, and families have children, you need parks in the area. So they built this beautiful park. So I went to the park, and I got to the park and realized my phone was like at 47%. That's kind of panic mode for me. So I said, well, I'll sit here and charge it up a little bit. And only to realize, wait a minute, you're on the video trying to record, so you're going to have to sit there, because if you try to, look at other stuff, your video's going to get cut off. So I just got out the car and I walked around, and I videotaped around the park. Beautiful park. And I felt good. That park brings me joy. And there were already people. It was 8 something in the morning, and there were already people walking around the park. And there's areas like tracks. And if you look down at the middle school, there was a track down there. So, I mean, it might be an area that I might consider to get up in the mornings and go to. But if God, let me live and that happens tomorrow, I really want to try to go to the YMCA. But I also want to not put a lot on my knees. So, but hopefully you saw part one of my video, because then you could see the pictures of the park and the discussion that I have for today. And so I ended up coming home, not really doing anything. I actually didn't really do anything. What did I do? Just get on the phone and scroll and listen to the book very little bit. Could not sit still enough to do that. And I go on the Roku and I watch live TV, and I love Leave It to Beaver. But I'm telling you guys, if y'all want to relax and look at old shows and everything, Leave It to Beaver is not that type of show. That little beaver will have your anxieties level so high, even though you already know what the outcome is going to be. But you start yelling, "Stupid, don't do that. Don't listen to Larry. Don't listen to Eddie." It's so funny, but it still causes me anxieties. So today I was watching Alfred Hitchcock, and I didn't get it. But I kind of will still watch it because it's weird. But it's just weird. It was weird back then, it's weird now. And so I got up, and it was just like I was restless and everything, and I decided to come back outside. Not much going on today. I don't want too many days like this where I'm just feeling restless. And I got to find something to do. I really do. There's a project I want to work on, but I just can't get into it. It's a beaded project, and I'm going to show you a bead project I did a long time ago. So I did this project a long time ago. I love parrots. And so that's what I'm trying to do is find a bead pattern. I do have one, and it's a skeleton for Halloween. And it may look complicated, but if you really know once you get it going, it works up real fast, like real fast. And I've done several. There's a wolf one I really like, but so I want to get on that, but I'm just not interested. I think the reason why it's taking me so long to get on that one is the pattern calls for 13 beads, which is an odd number. And so because it's an odd number of beads, you have to do things different than if it was an even number of beads. And if it's an even number of beads, it really works up fast, and I would have had it done. And so that one happens to be my first odd one that I'm going to attempt. Most of the other ones were all even. And I can't even go in there and find an even pattern that I would think I would enjoy. And so, yeah, that's what's been stopping me. And it's been months I've been calling myself, I was gonna go ahead and attempt to do the odd number beads. And I've watched several videos on how to do it, but it's just I don't want to. It's just not making me want to do it. I don't care what the banner is going to be. It's an odd number bead. So I don't know, hopefully I'll find something an even number that will excite me to do, because that ain't getting it. I even tried to AI it for it to turn the pattern into a even number. It messed that pattern up. I was like, what is this? And sometimes AI makes my skin crawl. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out a really big project to work on and be proud of. I was doing perla beads, but sometimes that's very eye straining, and I want something where I can sit outside and do but perla beads, you can't mobilize it. You know what I'm saying? All the beads will fall out because you have it on a table. I would have to have it where, oh man, if I was working on a big project, I would have to have the iron heated up and then kind of go over it outside really good, as best as I can, and then take it in, let the beads melt a little bit. That's a good idea. And then bring it inside. But I just want to be outside chilling, especially in the evening. Those old men, we get up early in the morning, and they be playing dominoes and cards. I want to be that old lady sitting outside, and I'm doing crafts outside and everything. And so someone told me, and you know who you are, that they were scared of my dolls. And I told that someone, well, my dolls are art, and they are. They look better in person than they do on video. Plus, I already know if I posted those dolls in Mercari or eBay, they would sell really well. I probably can sell those dolls for $50. And because this is my first time doing that type of repaint, it's hard for me to give up, but it might be worth it. I might make another one sort of similar to those, just to prove that it is art. You ain't got to like it, and it doesn't stop you from scaring you. I get it. They probably look like a little voodoo dolls. But I promise you, I didn't. If I had another color of paint, I would have. Another color of brown, but that's Mr. Hobby is called the paint. And the top shows it is a light brown, but when you spray it, it's a dark brown, looks almost black. And they don't sell it anymore, but that's the best doll paint ever. And it's an Asian company, and I don't know if it's Japan or China, and they don't sell it anymore. And I forgot the reason why. I think something about the shipping and everything and the spray and all that. And you can't even find it in a store here. And Mr. Super Clear you can, which is part of that. Mr. Super Clear spray paint lets you spray the doll, and I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna try. That's my next try thing. Something I'm gonna try. Experiment. There you go. You spray it up, and it says it makes it kind of like a paper finish. So anything you could use chalk, paint chalk, not paint chalk, but what they call it. But I forgot what it is because I have some, but I don't know where it is. I do, but I don't want to go find it. You could use that. You can do watercolors. You can do any type of acrylic spray paint of any kind. It'll stick. And so I'm gonna try that probably next. I don't know how soon. I know where my super clear, because guys, mind you, when I went back to work, I didn't do a lot of crafts, so I put a lot of that stuff up, and I would have to go dig a lot of that stuff out. And if I find Mr. Super Clear, um, I may do that. I was gonna make a green doll, but I don't have no green paint. I have acrylic paint because I was into what is it called? Uh, Wicked, yeah, and Elphaba. They call it Elphaba doll or a male witch doll from Wicked, which we all know Wicked is um, it is the pre-story before the Wizard of Oz, how the Wicked of the West got her reputation of being wicked, and when she was really a really nice, sweet girl, but things happened. How people treated her, being different and looking different, and it changed her demeanor from going from sweet to wicked. And sometimes how we treat people, we have good people that we can actually damage. Yeah. My apologies. That's why apologies are so important. And so anyway, there's a lot of things to experiment with, but I just hope I can, this Halloween project that I've been wanting to do for months, and just can't get into it, or I couldn't find a pattern. I mean, I remember I had that pattern forever, sitting there every day looking at it all the time. It's lost. I still have never found it. Then I tried to print the pattern, and it wouldn't print right. And I ended up going to the library and printing it at the library, and it came out. But it's probably lost now. Who knows where I put it? Really, where did I put it? Okay, so when and if it ever gets done, I will share it on you. But that parrot was one of my my favorite project that I did. And I've done with, of course, I think I've shown on another video, the Bronco one. I got a wolf. I did this tree, like a tree branch, but I had back in the day, you could download programs onto your computer, and this one was a bead maker program where I was able to make my own pattern. I made a Martin Luther King one. I gave it away to a principal as a gift. I didn't really like it, but it was a silhouette. When you look at it, you go, oh, that's Dr. King. And I did, let's see what else I did. I'd like to do another Dr. King. I did a Dr. King Perla bead one that was really, really nice. It took a lot of times. I designed the program and everything, ironed it up, but it wasn't ironed enough and it fell apart. It hurt. And what else did I do? For the Perla beads, I think that's all the ones that I'm seeing one in my head, and I just can't remember which one it is, but that's the Bronco one and the parrot are my favorite. Those are my two favorite ones with the beads. Oh, I did this one co-worker of mine. She's a AKA. I did her ivy twine, and that turned out really nice. And I made the pattern for the Delta one. If that's even, I may go buy the red and white beads and go ahead and make. But I made it like a jersey, and the number was 113. I'm sorry, the number was 13, and that means it was founded in 1913. But it wasn't. If I made it 1913, it would be super wide, and it would take out the whole banner look. So I just put 13 on it. And so, maybe I'll get back to bead patterns, but I don't have enough places to be hanging banners. What am I going to do with them? So maybe, especially if I do Greek ones, mostly for deltas. Maybe when we're having white elephant things and when or Christmas exchange, maybe I'll do something like that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get, but yeah, that makes sense. So I know I better get me some. I better stock up on some red beads and white beads because I got some things in mind. And I think when I was designing my own patterns, I was doing even numbers. That would be fun. But I'm gonna go on Pinterest and look up some patterns. But why not learn something new? Learn how to do the odd count. Why not? So the purpose of sitting here is, as you get older, learn new stuff. It helps your brain when you try to learn new stuff. You know what I just did today? Okay, so normally I know and memorize my children and my grandchildren's phone number. Well, when you change your phone and phone numbers, I can't remember. So I got one more to memorize. So I memorized my my daughters that had changed their numbers. I just memorized their number, and my granddaughter, her dad put her under his name. I just memorized her number. So 3 phone numbers I just sat here memorized, and I will keep saying them tonight. And then I have one more granddaughter. I need to memorize hers and her brother's. I have to memorize his. Because first of all, it's just a memory thing for me, just to have a good memory. And because things sometimes I could be sitting there and I don't remember what I just said or thought, read, and all that kind of stuff. And then, oh yeah, it'll come off back to me like that. Oh yeah. And so just playing memory games is what I do, just to keep the brain working. And instead of just sitting here like a zombie, just do little brain stuff. But anyway, this is part 2, and the reason why I did part 2 is because I didn't really sign off on part 1. I kind of just got off. So here's part 2 to sign off. You guys enjoy your day. Practice being a good person. Be sensitive to other people. Just be, I don't know, compassionate about their realities, even if it's not yours. And to understand what I'm saying is you really have to see July 10th, part 1. Y'all have a good one. Bye.